Hey yo, welcome to Kid Connection week 3 of Wonder Why. We have gone through and talked about, let's see, the themes are over there. I can wonder about God. Last week we talked about I can wonder about Jesus and talked about the life of Jesus and what Jesus did. And this week we are talking all about I can wonder about the Holy Spirit. And so we're obviously joining those three to talk about the Trinity. And so let me remind you of a few things before we get started into our small group roundup. And so just a reminder to be here no later than 10:15. Kids are checking in. Parents are checking in their kids. I want to challenge each and every one of our leaders. And so you guys got to keep up this week. Who can give the most high fives or hugs? And so I want you to keep count. So if you can do like 5 high fives per kid, then you might win. But just challenge you to do that. Just really try to connect with our kids and show them how excited you are that they are here this week. I promise you they remember the leaders who loved them. And so be here no later than 10:15, just welcoming kids and parents and making sure that basically that they are where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. Obviously, you can play games in the game room with the kids. For that whole age group, just love playing games with them. So do that. Then bathroom breaks right around 10:40, and then as soon as they come back into the kids' room, we are watching the video of the lesson. I can wonder about the Holy Spirit. It's about an 18-minute video this week, and so just be very involved with them. Stand up and play the game with them. Jump up on the stage and do the motions for the song. Just be very, very engaged with them and be excited to be there. And then, so as soon as that video is over, we're going to go into small groups. And so let me run over the small groups material with you. Obviously, the bins are in the back of the room. Make sure you grab a black bin. Got all your stuff in there. And then the very first thing that you want to grab is the clipboard. On the clipboard is your run sheet. Your run sheet has every single thing that you need on there. We are circling up at the very beginning, and it says to sanitize kids' hands. There's sanitizer in your bin. And then have each child share his or her name and then ask them a question using the scientific fact sheet. So it says it right here on there. And then you're going to grab the very next thing on your clipboard, and that is the scientific fact sheet. And it has questions like this: true or false? Your blood is as salty as the ocean. Is that true or false, Johnny? That's correct. It is. It is true. Your blood is as salty as the ocean. I don't know if that's true. You can Google that. It says it's true. All right. And so you're going to do all that. You did a great job wondering about whether those facts were true or false. We wonder when we feel curious and are surprised by what we find. We are talking all about today. I can wonder about the Holy Spirit. And that transitions into your Read the Bible time. And the Read the Bible time, it tells every kid is going to get some lab notes. So every kid is going to get a sheet called the lab notes, and they're going to get a crayon. So there's crayons in your bin. Wha-bam! And so they get those, and then you're going to read the Bible story sheet. Now, the Bible story sheet looks a little bit like this, and it says Bible story sheet on the top. And so you are simply going to read the story to them. Now, as you read the story, it's telling them to do something on their lab notes sheet. And so, like, number 1 has some check boxes. Jesus had to go away. God would send a friend, and the Holy Spirit helps me. So when you cover that part in the story, they're check boxing those. Of course, they can color and they can kind of do some other things while you're in there. Number 2, it tells them to draw something in the cloud, the thought bubble there. And then number 3 is the finish finishing up there. Okay, so you're going to read through that. It tells exactly what to do as you go through that. Just be very, again, engaging with them through that. All right, turn it over to the back, and you're going to the Let's Practice section up at the top. And this is where you play the game. And so the game this week is a Pictionary card game. And so you are going to don't show the group the answers to these. So it then says, use a dry erase marker board and have the team try to guess what it is. If the picture is correctly guessed, give the team a point and read the corresponding question from the leader guide. Okay, all right, so this might be a little bit hard for me to show you on there. But let's just say you have your cards here, and then on the back is a world. And you may want to have a kid do this, or you may want to do this however you feel like you want to do it. But in your bins, there's a dry erase board in there, and so what you're going to do is you're going to draw the earth on there and see which kid can guess what you're drawing. So hopefully you're a little bit better drawer than us. Then you're going to find, once they guess, oh, that's the world, then you're going to find the world on the back of your leader guide here, and you're going to read what it says about the world. It says, was the Holy Spirit ever talked about in the Bible before Jesus was born? You can allow some responses and then say, yes, God's Spirit was talked about at the very beginning. He helped with creating the world. You can read about it all in the book of Genesis. And so you do however many different ones that you have. Let's see, we've got a heart, we've got some friends, we've got a church, we've got, looks like a little clipboard and a magnifying glass. You can do as many or as few as you would like, and then just read the questions on there, okay? All right, so let's head to the very last thing for small group, and that, well, I say that. This says to pray. Obviously very important. Make sure that you pray with your students, but then the very last thing, it says to say and do. We are memorizing our Bible verse. And it's a little bit longer this time, and so we have several weeks to learn it. Surprised me this week, my daughter, Reagan, who is 9, she said Monday. She said Monday of this week. She said, Dad, I know my verse already. I said, oh yeah, go for it. I didn't think she knew it. And she rattled it off. And so, hey, small group leaders, thank you so much for going over those. And so she said, Exodus 15:11, Lord, who among the gods is like you, who is like you? You are majestic and holy. Your glory fills me with wonder. You do amazing things. And so we've got these cards, just a little mix and match things that's got basically one word, maybe 2 or 3 on some of them. And so you just kind of mix those into the middle of the group and see if the kids can work together and do the verse. And then you can say, all right, who thinks they know it? And maybe they do it all by themselves. And so that's the very last thing on there. Go over the memory verse. On their lab notes sheets is the thing that they take home this week. So it kind of tells the parents what they talked about when they go home, what to go over with them. It has the need to know, I can wonder about the Holy Spirit, the Bible story talking about the Holy Spirit and all the passages that are revolving around the Holy Spirit. And then it has the memory verse on there. So they take this home this week, and they have a little coloring sheet on the back. If all the groups are not done, by the time your group gets done, just have them flip over the lab note sheet and just simply color the back of that until every single group gets done. And so we have been letting out of main service a little bit early. This past week was a little crazy that they let out so early, but they have been letting out around 11:50. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that kids have playtime at the very end. And so try to be done with small group no later than 11:45. And I know that's hard sometimes because this is involved and it's a lot. And it's a lot of stuff moving from one thing to another. But please just help us by letting them play at least for a few minutes at the very end, because they want to go back in that room and play. So thanks so much for loving on our kids. Thanks for leading and guiding our kids. And thanks for, most of all, showing them the love of Christ. And I'm praying for you. I am not going to be here this weekend. My grandfather passed away a few weeks ago. My whole family in Virginia ended up with COVID just about. And so we had to postpone the memorial service. And so Courtney and I and the family are going to be heading to Virginia this week. So I will not be here, but I am assured that small group and Kid Connection and Kid Connection Junior is well taken care of. Love you guys. Thanks so much for volunteering, and appreciate you. See ya.